Okay. Oh, we gotta change the lighting. More of a cozy vibe? Sure. Why not? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic, and I just saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And yes, I know I'm very, very late to the party with this one. And to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to be releasing this video. I'm just kind of filming out of the blue. I just got back from the theater and this is an interesting experience for me, and I just want to get my thoughts out there. Think of this like a therapy session. If you guys have seen my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was number 3, I think. It was up there. It was definitely high up there because I really enjoyed the more recent Planet of the Apes movies. I really liked Rise, loved Dawn, was a bit underwhelmed by War, but I was looking forward to this movie. I just thought, you know what? Sure, let's watch more Planet of the Apes. And when I saw it, I knew that I was in trouble right away because something just wasn't clicking. And my overall consensus about this movie is that it's a perfect movie on paper. Because you go down the film school report card, and I've used this term so many times in my videos, and it does so many things right, and so many things that I look for in a movie like this movie has. And yet I was so bored, and I was just waiting for it to be over. I thought it was way too long, way too boring, very disappointing, and very underwhelming. Now, whatever your thoughts are of the movie, I would love to hear them down in the comment section down below. So please let me know your thoughts of Dawn of the... I was going to say Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. What movie am I watching again? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. How long can these titles go? Like, this movie does a lot of things right. I'll talk about this first. The effects are astounding. However, it feels like, you know, kind of a moot point nowadays because the first one came out, and I say the first one, meaning like these new movies with all the CGI. That one came out in 2011, and it was amazing then, right? So now it's been 13 years, and it just looks even better. Like, there are still many moments in this movie where I was even going like, wow, that looks so awesome. There was this one scene near the end of the movie where water is rising in this like industrial area, and like the textures of the fur or the hair of the apes and the facial features and the blood, it is really, really great stuff, right? A lot of the cinematography, amazing work. Like, lots of these shots, I'm going, wow, it's like a piece of art. Lots of epic looking shots and lots of exciting moments too. Like, the action sequences in this movie are very well executed. So it looks great. It's exciting, right? I like the story in terms of, you know, the ideas that it brings forward, right? So we have a lot of different clans of apes, right? When Caesar was talking about, you know, apes strong, apes together, or whatever his mantra was, you know, I was thinking, oh yeah, no, all apes are going to be on the same side. But just like humans, we have our own little factions, we have our own religions, we have our own laws, and each different clan, you know, like, oh, the law in this clan is different than the law in this clan. And this clan, they raise eagles. That's a very interesting concept. But then we have this dictatorship of this one ape, Proximus, I think his name was, and he's trying to get into like this vault, right? This military vault, because he believes that there's knowledge in there. And he's, you know, learning more about human history, going, you know what, humans used to fly. Human beings could communicate across oceans. And of course, he's talking about all this technology and all of the knowledge that human beings had, but apes don't have that. Right? So he wants to learn because he wants to evolve, right? He's like, evolution. So there's lots of great ideas here. And I don't want to spoil it, but there are some humans in this movie that are very primitive. You know, they can't speak. They look like cavemen. And then there are other human beings who are still talking, and they're very smart, and they're trying to fight back against the apes. And they're trying to communicate with other factions of humans, and they, you know, they believe that the world is theirs. It was ours. It doesn't belong to apes. All these things in the vault, they're human things. You know, we see books, and we see, like, there's a whole lot of talking about books in this movie. Like, these symbols used to have meaning, the apes would say. So a lot of great ideas here. And the structure, and there's lots of, like, setups and payoffs in terms of how the villain is defeated, right? I guess it's not really a spoiler, right, in a movie like this. You know, there is some gray area between our main character Noah and the human. I believe her name is May, right? Again, I'm forgetting the characters' names already. I just saw it like 20 minutes ago. You know, like there's some gray area there. And I'm thinking, like, just me talking about it, I'm remembering things I like about this movie. So this is what makes it so disappointing, and this is what I really wanted to talk about on camera here, because it's a complicated experience. So naturally you're thinking, oh, well, it can't sound that bad. You're giving the movie a lot of praise. And yeah, I am. And there's a couple of moments where the score was really nice too. I was so bored when watching this movie. So bored. And I think the main reason why is because I don't care about this main character, Noah. I don't care about his clan. I don't care about his family, his friends. I don't care about this May girl, right? Like this really smart human out of the tons of other humans who are more primitive, right? And the more I'm thinking about that, you know, in a couple generations, they say this movie is in the future. Not like thousands of years, but only a couple generations. So they have people, you know, in more high-tech, you know, they understand technology and they're dressed like, you know, normal humans. But then you have like cavemen. Is there like that big of a branch between evolution? Again, like when you start to pick this movie apart, a lot more plot holes, I guess, are starting to pop up. This is just me thinking about it right now as we speak. But I just don't care about the characters. I didn't like this guy. I didn't care about what was happening. I couldn't connect with him. And the obvious dick answer in the comment section is like, well, what do you expect? It's like he's an ape dude, right? Like, how are you going to connect with him? But dude, I've seen Finding Nemo and I connect to a fish. I've connected to toys in Toy Story. I've connected to a little robot in WALL-E. Yes, these are all Pixar films. But there's still some humanity. Sticking with Disney, The Lion King. There's no humans in that movie, right? But it's a story, right? And I don't think it's because of that, because I was able to connect to Caesar and his story. But Noah's just like the Diet Pepsi version of Caesar that has been like left out for 4 days, and now it's just flat. There's nothing there. There's no heart. There's no charm either. There's one character, I forget his name, Janga. I'm butchering it right now. He was interesting because he had some personality. He had some charm. He had some spunk, right? And I'm not asking every single character in every movie to be Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy, like quippy and that kind of guy. No, I don't need that at all. But I do need something. And I think the best way I can describe this movie is, you know, if you think of like, you know, when you're thinking about a story and there's that arc, right? There's like the inciting incident, and then there's the rising action, the climax, and yada, yada, yada. This movie is like the Glass version of it, but there's nothing in it. It's see-through. All the structure's there, right? The movie is paced relatively well. I do think it goes on for like 25 more minutes than it should have. Right? 2 hours, that's all you need. You don't need it to be 2.5 hours long. You don't need that. The structure's there. It looks beautiful. The themes and the more complex issues, they're all there. But there's no character. There's no emotion in it. It feels extremely hollow. And I've talked about this with some friends recently, where the concept of a movie is more engaging than the actual movie itself. Movies I can think of would be like Focus with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, like talking about con artists. Like, that's a cool concept, but the movie is very lackluster. Same with Limitless. It's like you talking about what would you do if you had a pill that could expand your brain. You use 100% of your brain as opposed to the 10% of it. Then that gets your mind going. But the movies themselves are very lackluster. Same with this one. You're thinking, okay, well, if apes did rule the world, how would the relationship with humans work? Would we just be wiped out? Would we go underground? How can they use technology? Like, all that stuff. And it was really cool to see all of the world being like run down, and you see like vines and life growing off of things. Like, there's one moment in the movie where it looks just like this one giant green full of life structure, and it burns down and only the core is left and their power lines. And I'm thinking, see, that's clever. That's clever. And there's a moment where our main character, Noah, is learning about humans. I believe it's an orangutan, but regardless. He's talking about, I believe that, you know, human beings would come here to travel. and then it zooms out and they're in an airport. I'm like, see, like, there are instances of brilliance in this movie. So I can't say that this movie sucks. I just think of it as a huge missed opportunity. So for an overall rating, I guess I'll give it a 2 out of 5. It's okay, because there were a lot of moments where I would get engaged and then I got bored again. It was really disappointing because I really wanted to like this movie. And like I said, on paper, it's great, but there's no heart. And that's the thing that was missing. So it does make me want to go back and rewatch, you know, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Rise. And I haven't actually seen the first one, like the very first Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston. That's who's in it, right? I've heard the Mark Wahlberg one is terrible, so I might not get into that one. But yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts down below. Am I just out to lunch with this one? Like, I saw on Rotten Tomatoes it has like an 80%. I guess with me, I'm in the 20%. I was not a big fan of this movie, and I really wanted to be. And it sucks. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys again in the next one. I got to plug in my Patreon as well. Patreon is down below. We do monthly watch-alongs every month. That's what monthly means. Again, I'm trying to do this all in one take. But yes, we do lots of giveaways and lots of get-togethers. It's a lot of fun. It's like a big movie club, kind of like a book club. But anyway, links down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care.